tested positive October 16th of 2020 and have been sick ever since.
I blew it off because at first I didn't match the symptom list.
On the one hand, I was a mild case, right? I didn't have the extreme symptoms. I actually never lost my sense of taste or smell. I had the horrific headaches that some people talked about. And it was a low-grade fever, but it was so relentless.
My heart was racing in different ways, different times, with instructions of if you feel like it's not alleviated in 4 hours, just come to the hospital. If not, there's nothing we can do for you.
And I did not know anything about longhauler, post-COVID syndrome, that, it wasn't even talked about.
And then I also have all the brain fog that everybody has, hard to find words. Short-term memory is pretty much gone.
And that same day that I got my results back, I started to run a fever. And then I proceeded to have a fever for 54 days.
The GI problems were getting worse, so I wasn't wanting to leave the house. I was having migraines 4 or 5 times a week that kept me in bed in the dark.
A friend and nurse that said, have you checked into long haul COVID yet? I'm like, no, we haven't even heard of it.
This one is different. That's what I kept saying. And boy, it was different. I wasn't able to walk or manage. I used my limbs freely. I had no coordination or strength.
There were ER visits. There was a neurologist. And at that point, it had been over 6 months.
I was the type of person who just pushed through. I've worked through the flu at 12-hour shifts. Why do I need to stop for anything? Was my mindset. And this has completely drastically changed how I think about my health, how I think about how I should respond.
Tons of autonomic issues, low blood pressure and fainting and the blood pooling and the whole gamut. And then that rolled into this never-ending fever. I'm still with a fever today.
The virus in my body has started to eat away at those nerves in a way, very basically speaking, so they don't send or receive the correct chemicals at the correct time.
And I could not function normally.
But it definitely does not feel like you have control.
My heart is just so saddened with the amount of people that are going through long haul COVID.
Maybe not full-blown depression, but I was down and struggling, and that sort of no end in sight feeling, everybody checking on you, meaning well, and of course you're grateful, but you keep feeling like, yep, nope, not better yet. And it's really, I think people underestimate how hard that is on the patient.
I would go to bed with my room set up in a way that if I didn't wake up, my family would not, like there was not things everywhere. And that's a hard place to be. And in the middle of this, I'm going to work.
There have been days where I don't want to get out of bed because I can't face it. There are days I want to give up.
But it was just a very confusing and sad time and scary. There were many nights I went to bed, and I'm not exaggerating, I didn't think I was going to wake up.
Feeling pretty defeated at that point because, I didn't have any help. What's going on? What's the next step? And it was rough. It was really rough, obviously not being able to get up and do what you want and all the loss that comes with it, all of it.
It is hard. I'm smiling. I put makeup on, but I shaved my head the other day because my hair is falling out so much. And also, I don't have the energy to deal with my hair. I don't even have the energy to put it up in a ponytail anymore.
I may not be able to return back to work, and I've got 8 weeks. And that has created a lot of fear, uncertainty.
My heart just really goes out to all the long haulers who, they don't get support. They don't get the knowledge that they need.
But you feel like you can't tell people what they want to hear, and you don't even know what to tell them. And with COVID, the doctors don't know what to tell you. There was no set treatment protocol. Everybody has been so different. The list of symptoms is so vast, and varied.
Trying to find the correct doctors who understand and can properly treat or even be willing to hear our stories as long haulers has been part of the struggle for me.
It's heartbreaking when your family doesn't believe that you can't function, when your friends are like, you can't be that tired, so-and-so had COVID and they're better now or whatever. I don't know what this is, where people's reaction is to minimize or be kind of a Pollyanna of, oh, just be better. Validate and just believe them. Nobody wants to not feel well. So I would just urge everyone to please listen to the patients and believe them and ask them how you could best support them.
There are people in your life that are gaslighting you. It happens all the time.
We've all heard the term medical gaslighting. I had not until this happened to me.
Being told that it's in your head, or you should do this more.
And I just learned to listen to my body. And that's really, I think, what was the best thing for me, to learn to listen to my body when my body had enough to stop. And of course, most of the time that was hard because I didn't listen to my body till it was too late. And then I'd have these huge setbacks for days where I couldn't even get out of bed.
So every day you have a humility lesson in what are you able to do for the day.
There's way more to listen to in our bodies than what we realize, and I'm beginning to see that.
I will tell you, this is a lesson I've had to learn over and over, and I'm getting better at it. But I listen to the whispers.
We really do have a group and network of people who are going through the exact same thing. And so I think the first thing is, no, you are not alone, and this will not last forever. It feels like it will. But, we're humans, and we are made to prosper and to survive, and we will live through this, and we will be stronger for it, and we will be more compassionate, and I think even better people for having gone through it, because our story will be able to help others, and we'll be able to bring others out of that darkness with us and say, no, there is hope, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
But the coping and the dealing and the overwhelm, take it day by day. If you have to, take it hour by hour. If you need to break it down to minute by minute, advances are being made every day.
There is hope. There are resources, and there's way more resources and hope now than there was in 2020 when I got sick.
Treat yourself like you'd treat your best friend or your spouse. If your spouse was suffering, what would you tell them to do? Or your best friend or your parent or your child? And treat yourself as you would treat those closest to you.
And as long as I'm 6 feet this way instead of this way, I'll use it. My voice to make, those voices that have died not be in vain, and also to make whatever awareness for the poor people that have heard for so long with these silent chronic illnesses.
And you really have to push the negativity away, because that'll just wear on you.
We need to be heard, and there's, a lot of us talking can make a loud noise.
Take it day by day, and don't forget to breathe and drink water.